modeling is something that Jesus did. It's about modeling. And Jesus came, he wasn't on the pulpit. He came off of it. He was amongst the people. He was a part of them. And I think too many times we don't realize that we're modeling separation instead of acceptance. And I'm talking this from a man's perspective. Because if a man feels closed off, let's keep it real, he ain't going there. If he sees a clique that he's not a part of already, he's not getting in it. He's going to start a new gang over here. Or he's going to be a part of some other gang that's going to be in there, that's going to be accepted. And many times they look at cliques. We got the deacon board, we got this board, we got that board, and we're cliques. And you got to be titles and cliques. And when you're a part of, when you're in the world, you know, come on, man, you got two hands, yeah, come on over here. You know, accepting them as they are. And I think we've gotten out of accepting people as they are because we began to, instead of teaching them, they just came in to know Jesus and loving God. They really don't know. They want to help. And they don't know where. And when they come into our churches, they find out that our churches is full of titles and not full of love.
But the church today is rock star.
You got it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I used to be a lawyer because I thought that the law would be a tool that I could use to benefit my people because I was a revolutionary. I discovered that the most revolutionary thing I could be was a Christian. Being a Christian is countercultural.
Yes.
It's swimming upstream.
There you go.
It's going against the flow. It's being an oddball, but it's not described that way or modeled that way by the leadership. The message from the pulpit. I don't know what's going on in the white church, but in the black church. From the pulpit today, the preaching model is, what does he look like? What does he sound like? How does he make me feel? There's no discussion about what did he say, what did he mean by that, what does that look like? How do I apply that? That's the challenge for us today. I don't have a deacon in my church, no titles.
That's right.
But I got about 50 men that can do everything a deacon does, and the reason that they do it is because that's what, I'm sorry. That's what men do. Why do we do that? That's what men do. I don't pay no security. My men come and they walk security. They cross the people across the street. They open the doors. Why? That's what men do. When we have a service, at the end of the service, the men stand and walk out of the door first and line up the streets and escort the ladies to their vehicles. Why? That's what men do. The most influential man in my church is retired trash man. Went to jail early. He was a drug dealer. He was a drug addict, but he was a reader. He read all that black stuff. Came out, the only job he could get was walking behind a trash truck. When he retired, he was superintendent of a whole district. The district I live in. The guys that pick up my trash knew me and treated me special. Not because I was Pastor Smith, but because I was Larry Denton's pastor. His hair comes down to his ankles. Do you hear what I'm saying? When a trash truck breaks down, he's a supervisor, shirt and tie, with a cell phone and a city car. When a trash truck breaks down, he gets his assistant to drive him where that truck is. He go in the trunk of his car, he put on his coveralls, he put his hat up in this big apple, he put his boots on, he gets his gloves, and he walks with his men behind that trash truck until the job is done. Who don't want to work with Larry? Who don't want to work for Larry? Because when you work for Larry, Larry works with you. He's the most influential man in the church, and he models masculinity.
Think of what do men outside of the church see when they look at men in the church is huge. Men, I've been a man long enough to know men love hobbies, and I'm no exception to that. And I think a lot of times what men see who are outside of the church is I can give all that up. My new life is all inside these four walls here, and that's it. And so I would ask, each one of us as men, what are we modeling that, or are we modeling that we're living life to the full? What else is there in our life that's appealing to men outside of the church? For me, I'm part of 2 bike clubs. I like to ride these, road bikes and these backcountry roads, in Hartford County. I'm a country boy, and, that's what I do. I don't show up to many rides without my 15-year-old son, who's really gotten into riding, and my 16-year-old nephew, who a year ago was bordering on morbid obesity, and people are watching his life turn around. So I don't show up without them because I want to model. So I don't just want to get a good bike ride in and a good workout and fun for me, but to say, hey, it's about modeling and investing into others. I don't show up at the Bel Air Athletic Club much without either one of those 2 or another young man who moved from the ghetto in East Baltimore to Bel Air, single mom, full-time student, full-time job, minimum wage job, trying to give him a better life. I teach him basketball and coach him in basketball, and I don't show up without him or my son or my nephew. So I start there to try to model that to others around me that may be believers, may not be. So I think those would be the 2 ways is as we go, who are we bringing along to invest our lives into, and then just, is our life encapsulated by our new life is this club called the church that has nothing else in it. So for me, those would kind of be the 2 ways.